Good morning, friends. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Medwell Unscripted. I'm so excited. My partner in crime, Emily, here. We have a wonderful guest today and a great conversation ahead. We're so excited. So my friends, I just want to let you know, so we are streaming live, which always there's that possibility of technical issues. And today we're streaming actually on many channels. So we're really excited. Medwell Unscripted and Medwell Health and Wellness is partnered with Doc MJ. And so we are streaming to not only to Facebook, we're streaming to 3 Facebook channels, 2 YouTube channels, a LinkedIn profile, and 2 Twitter accounts. So wherever you are watching us, hello and welcome. We're really excited to see you. Drop a hello in the chat. And just some housekeeping. If you are catching the replay, feel free to drop a question afterwards. We will absolutely get back to you. So today we are speaking with Nicole Fenix from the Cleveland School of Cannabis, which if you are considering a position or a job in the cannabis world, you are in the right place to learn some good stuff. I actually, we were talking in the green room and, as COVID hit and I have children transitioning, my son was looking in the cannabis field and I was looking at programs. And I actually, unfortunately, did not see her program at the time. But now that I've learned more about it, I'm very excited to share because there's so many different opportunities here. And obviously, friends, as you know, the cannabis industry is growing by leaps and bounds. So it might be just the right time for you to get your career in cannabis. So as we get started here, we're going to start with some introductions. I'm going to let Emily tell you a little bit about. Emily Waxman is our Director of Community Outreach. She's out and about in the field, meeting with dispensary partners and patients and sharing about how the value of medical cannabis can be in your wellness. And then we're going to bring on Nicole and have her talk about herself and a little bit about, we'll just get into it. So Emily, what's up, my friend?
Oh, always busy, April, as you know. So yes, I will be out and about this week at our Platinum Partner Northeast Alternatives in Fall River. They are promoting a great campaign this week so that you can take advantage of a discounted medical certification for just $125. So for all those folks that are thinking about it, definitely head over to Northeast Alternatives website and check that out. That's a really great promo. And then I will be there on Friday from 1 to 4 in Fall River, being able to talk to all their patients, their adult use folks, and explaining why one would want to obtain their medical certification. So definitely if you and make sure that you ask as many questions as you can to see if the certification is right for you.
Awesome. All right, my friends, our guest of the hour, Nicole Fenix from the Cannabis, Cleveland School of Cannabis. And Nicole, welcome. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Thank you, Emily and April, for having me on. And I'm really happy to share with you about the Cleveland School of Cannabis. And it's kind of the journey of cannabis. Everybody has their own personal journey. And so mine pretty much started, I was a high school science teacher. And I was, working with homeschooled students on the autism spectrum. And I just kind of stumbled on Indeed and saw they needed a curriculum writer at the school for the endocannabinoid system. And I had my master's in curriculum and instruction. So I applied for the job and, learned about the ECS and then came to the school, helped write the class, and then started teaching it in 2017, which was pretty close to when the school started. So that was really fun. At the same time, my son was going through some medical issues, and he was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis in high school. And so we had quite the journey trying to figure out his medical. He had already had asthma and allergies and, a lot of eczema, all those autoimmune lovely illnesses. And no one ever talked to us about cannabis. So we started doing, I was doing like no sugar and trying to cut things out. And then we started getting into CBD. So did this whole deep dive with CBD. And then at the same time, I was coming to the school and learning about all this stuff. And I was like, what is going on? So in 2018, he got his medical card, and what a I mean, what a difference in the quality of life for him. And as a young, he played sports, played football in college. So it just allowed him not to have this huge weight fluctuating. So just being a witness to medicinal cannabis and then now teaching and connecting with people in the industry, it was so powerful. And as I was teaching the ECS class, we connected with Technon University in Israel. There was a fellow American there that we just started dialoguing with, and he was telling us about the current research that was going on in Israel. And it was just like, I was like, oh my gosh, this is real. This is really real. And I'm not drinking, the Kool-Aid or whatever. So it just was like this, wow. And it's just been snowballed, and so I've taught many of our medical classes and then the opportunity to take over as the director of education. So it's just been awesome. I mean, just to be a witness to so many students using or consuming medical marijuana or cannabis, and just hearing their stories and their journeys and how powerful, and them wanting to get into the industry and help other people, and just the impact, whether it's growing the plant or, teaching about the medicinal effects or processing it, which has been really amazing. I'm actually a part owner of a hemp processing company. So I've been, I've just been learning so much, which has been so fascinating. So
and it's
really cool.
And I think, that's one of the things that I love about our show is that we get to every week in our series, I'm learning something new, a different perspective of view. And it's really amazing. And to hear the stories and how medicinal cannabis has helped your son, that's awesome.
Amazing.
So let's talk about, the Cleveland School. So tell us a little bit about, it started in 2017 and you came there shortly after, but let's talk about what it is and what you offer there.
So, how the school came about, our founder, Austin Briggs, was out in California, 2016, and he was in the cannabis industry and he was trying to I want to learn more. Where do I go to learn about more? So he realized there was a huge void. So when he came back to Cleveland, he's like, well, let me, dabble a little bit and see if there's an interest in cannabis education. So he held weekend informational sessions on cannabis, and the turnout was amazing. And he was like, oh, we're onto something. So then it's just started developing. We started with horticulture and just started adding certifications. Then in 2018, we got certified by the Ohio State Board of Education. So we are a certified school. Our curriculum has to be approved by, the Ohio Board of Education. And it just kind of took off from there. And so we have horticulture, we have medical, we have processing, we have industrial hemp, and we have a dispensary. So those are our 5 singles certifications. Then we have what's called our executive. And the executive is a little bit of everything. So you kind of get your biggest, bang for your dollar. And you get to, if you're not really sure what direction to go in, this would be, the route to go. And most our students choose the executive. So it is a certification program. We are hoping to extend it eventually to an associate degree. We're talking with community schools in the local Ohio area. So it would just be a perfect fit. And we are currently an MSA candidate. We're going for regional accreditation. So they come in 3 weeks. So it's kind of been crazy getting all our paperwork and everything, our SOPs in order. But yeah, we're really excited to cross the finish line to have regional accreditation.
That's amazing. And there's not a lot of programs that have that. So, and especially, it'd be amazing for that associate's degree, because I know there's a lot of certificate programs, right? But they're not. And I think, as I was looking at your website and kind of looking at the difference between, community college has their certificate program. A lot more colleges are bringing the cannabis curriculum into schools. But I feel like it's not as specific as yours. You guys are really dialed in on kind of dialed in more on what the positions offer, what you need to fulfill. Can you talk a little bit about that? So you said the executive, what's the difference in that program compared to the other programs?
So the executive is our longer program, so you'll take more classes. So we are a clock hour school. So our single certification is 150 clock hours. Our executive would be 300 clock hours. So you're going to take 12 classes versus 6. and you get 2 electives. So you can kind of specialize. So if you wanted to go more processing, you could take our higher level processing classes. And one of the big things that really sets us, other schools have, you get a certificate, but our certificate is backed by the Board of Education through the state of Ohio. So we can't just say, oh, this is our curriculum. No, we have to be approved. They make sure that we're following it. If we change, a big part of it, we have to get approved. So any changes, we're always having to get approved by, an education board. It's not just, this is what we feel like, this is our opinion, So it's very detailed and organized. And then the other thing that really sets us apart is that we really advocate for our students in getting a job. So we have implemented what we call our career service workshop. So all our students, it's mandatory that they take this workshop. It's a self-paced workshop, but it helps them right when they come in our doors. We're having them think about, where do you see yourself in the industry? Where do you want to be? Start researching companies. And so they're already thinking what am I going to do with this education now? So we find that to be very, it sets us apart from other schools, cannabis schools. And we have, a live person that you can call and work through your resume, work through your cover letter, what's in your area. Because we have students that are in Florida. We have, students from all over the United States. So
Wow.
it's a really something that sets us apart, I believe. And we spend
I
a
would
lot of
say, yeah, no, I would say, because, the certificate programs, I think that the career centers, and of course, I don't want to sound disrespectful to, colleges and things, but a lot of times the people in those departments don't really understand the industry, and your focus is all about the cannabis industry. So
Right.
that's definitely a level up, which is awesome.
Yes.
So
And I'm sorry. I just wanted to say we're really connected with the company. So once a year we have we have a program advisory committee. So we invite, people from GTI, a lot of our Ohio, give us feedback. Does our curriculum align with what you want with your employees? And if not, what do we need to add? So we're getting input from the industry, so we're really connected with big companies, Air Wellness, I don't want to, advertise for other companies, but I'm just saying, we are connected with a lot of the larger GMOs out there.
It's so amazing, Nicole, because April and I, a few years back, did a show strictly on how to get your foot in the door in the cannabis industry, because I can't even tell you how many times I'll be at a table event and someone will come up to me and just say, how did you get into this? Or, what I'm really interested in growing, or I'd love to, be in a certain, I'd love to be a chef in the kitchen in one of these large companies. And they're you can tell they're very passionate about it, but they just don't know where to start. So how phenomenal that you are able to offer these programs for folks to be able to, come in and be able to learn the different aspects and really figure out, where their passion is. And then on top of it, be able to help them actually get into some of these places that they probably wouldn't have been able to do so on their own.
Right. Yeah. And we just recently connected with Easy Hire. And so we're just continually trying to improve that connection between the industry and our students. And so and another aspect that we do is what we call our green hour. So our green hour gives them a really good insight into the industry. So every other Friday, and it's part of the students' curriculum, they have to attend a live green hour or watch the recording. And then they have the opportunity to hear from CEOs. They get to hear from people creating products, and innovation. And so it's just been, sometimes they have that aha moment, like, oh, I really like that. I want to try something like that. Like you said, figuring out where their passion or their skill set fits in the industry. And sometimes people don't, they know they want to be in the industry, but how do I fit in?
Yes, for
Right,
sure.
Right. So who's a good fit for kind of your program? So is it, so I just want to, can people take individual classes, or they have to sign up for kind of the whole program? How does that work as well?
So at the Cleveland School of Cannabis, you have to sign up for the whole program. And anybody's a perfect fit for our school. You just need to either have your high school diploma or a GED. So we really try to keep the doors open to everybody. And so you do have to register for a whole program. However, we have other entities. The Cannabis Hub is another one where you could take a la carte. So say you're really interested in cooking, you could go to the Cannabis Hub and just take one class. Because since we are a state certified school, we can't just have somebody stop in and take a class. So we have other entities. And we're also under the CCC training umbrella is Harrington Institute. So we have other entities, and we've also connected with community college where we help with their curriculum. So.
And do you cover multiple state like regs in your, so because obviously state to state is very different. So yeah.
So we cover, so we have teachers in Colorado, we have teachers in California, we have teachers in Texas, at Maryland. So we have teachers, with COVID, our online program really took off. So there's a positive of COVID. But, and so that allowed us to bring in teachers from all over the United States, which has been really awesome because now you have, experts that are teaching, our processing class or our, ECS class. So it's really opened the doors for our online classes from that perspective. And the industry's just grown too. So now people are like, oh, like I know all this stuff I want to teach. And so it's been really, really cool from that perspective.
Now,
That's
is there, so you said you have so it's online, but you must have in person too? Do you have in-person offerings?
So we have the Cleveland campus, which we're located in Independence, which is about 15 minutes from downtown Cleveland. So at the Cleveland campus, and this is like a proud mama moment because we have our hemp research license that I worked on. So we're actually growing hemp on campus. So this has been something
very cool.
Yeah, it is awesome. I was just in with the plants and they're just doing phenomenal. So our students walk in and they get to clone and they get to, top and transplant and just get their hands on. We also have a processing room where the students take biomass and collect trichomes and get to press trichomes and what I really push for, and this goes back to my high school science, hands-on learning, touching, feeling, tasting, or not tasting, but in our cooking class they taste. They have multi-sensory learning, and it's so important, and it really gets the students excited and really engaged in their learning. And then we just set up, Dutchie was so kind to donate 2 operating systems. So we have a mock dispensary. So you can come in here, scan a QR code, you get our mock dispensary menu, put it in order, it shows up on our e-commerce. So the students get to play around like they're actually working at a dispensary. And
that's
so they
amazing.
It's been really cool. Like I've learned a lot about back offices and retail and students get to play in the sandbox, right? And so they're walking out like with pest man, I did that, or I know how to do that. I've actually done that instead of like, well, I read about it, but I've never touched a plant. So that's just, I think we've really taken it up a notch in the last year because we just moved to a new location. So we've been at the new location for about almost a year and a half. So it's
very nice.
What a step up for these students to be able to walk in and have that experience already under their belt. That's really incredible.
Yeah,
awesome.
Thank you.
So what is the cadence of the coursework? So is it self-paced? Like how does that work for students?
So no, the only thing that's self-paced is our career service workshop. All of our other classes are live. So online classes are live. You have, just like we're right now, I would be teaching, pull up the slides, and we're conversating,
Awesome.
And it is great because you're always you're networking with your peers and you're learning and asking questions with your instructor. If you are, working and you can't make it or something comes up with a child, there's a lot of flexibility. So we record all of our classes and then you have a 48-hour period to watch that live class if you couldn't attend live.
Great.
So you
I
watch
love that.
And then you can come back like, hey, I didn't understand this. And you can, come live to the next class or email. Our Populi system is great. So you can just communicate on a dashboard. Our in-person classes, you have to attend, be in person. We don't have that flexibility because they're not recorded. But since we're a clock hour school, they have to be in attendance 80% of the time. So they can't skip out. It's not like what your traditional credits where you could just not step foot in a classroom, take the test and be like, I passed.
Yeah.
You have
right.
So, and
I think it sets them up for students up for success because it makes them accountable. Yes. Like if they're in it to win it, there's accountability there, which I love that.
For sure. It's good that people are held accountable. I think that's perfect.
Yeah. And the other thing is, and you guys know, there's so much is networking. So I'm always like, you don't know who the person sitting next, that person sitting next to you might be, the next manager at, the cultivation facility that you want. And we know in this industry that once you're in that door, the opportunity to move up is much quicker than traditional industries right now because they are just growing at such a fast pace. Mm-hmm. So we've had students that graduated in 2018 that are in managerial positions. Wow. That are, and so I love it. I mean, just being a teacher, you go in and tour these facilities and you're like, oh my God, I know, like our students and they're, positions of, authority or power. I don't know what you term that.
That's wonderful.
It's really, it's kind of cool to see it all come, around.
So I know it's based on hours for your program, but what from start to finish, approximately how much time does it take to kind of get to the beginning to the end?
So our courses currently, we have 6 terms. So they're 6 weeks on, 2 weeks off. If you're a single major, it takes 3 months to 6 months to complete. If you're an executive major, it will take 9 months to a year, possibly a year and a half if you have to, just take 1 or 2 classes. So we've changed, we used to be a little different setup, but we switched to this format so people can get in and out and get in the industry. So it's really, not a lot of time when you think about the education that you're getting. And so it's a good pace. It is, you got to be all in. Because 2-hour classes twice a week. And so it's real school. Like I have to throw that out there because everybody's like, oh, do you do to sit around and smoke? And like, this is real. Like you're learning. A little bit of that, but the students, it's funny, like when people are like, this is like school, and I'm like, yeah. So
I just had deja vu back to a show when somebody lit up as we were going live, and I was like, no, that's not what we do here. Like it was just,
it might happen a little bit on our online classes.
So what are the costs associated? Like I don't know if there's financial aid or like how does that work?
So since we're not regionally accredited, we don't have like federal funding, but we do offer different funding programs. So I don't have my cheat sheet in front of me, but our single program is $7,500 and our executive program is around $14,000. We do offer 3 finance options. And so some of it depends on your credit score. So if you have a good credit score, you can, start with 0 down and then you have a deferred payment of, when you complete the program, that's when you start paying. We do help people try to get lower interest rates. So we do have different loan programs. But we're doing our best to help people, afford the school. And then, as I said before, our career service, we're really trying to help them get in. Like do our best to really connect with that student and get them in the door.
Yeah, I noticed that on your website that you were really very good about offering some finance options for folks to make it, as easy as you can for them, which is wonderful because it's like you hate to see someone not be able to participate due to finance.
Right. And we do offer some scholarships for people that have been wronged by the cannabis prohibition. So we also have like different
That's great.
scholarships for social equity, and
Oh,
so there are other opportunities that we do provide, and we do have industries now donating money, like having scholarships, like Buckeye Relief is donated money for a scholarship, so
that's
they'll
great.
pay for one person. There's just been multiple people that have come along. I know GTI did. Oh my gosh, there was a famous rapper I should know from Cleveland that did. But yeah, so we've had other people like they want to
I
help.
love
They
that.
want
Yeah, that's wonderful. That's phenomenal.
Awesome.
yeah.
And I saw that you have a graduation coming up, which that's very exciting. So is that
Mhm.
open to if you're online or in person? Can anybody
So
come to graduation?
So we do stream it online, but we really highly encourage people to come to the graduation. It just makes it more fun to see people in
Yeah.
person. Last year was really fun because we went back and did all the COVID graduates. They had the online.
Oh, yeah.
So we
That's
had
wonderful.
people coming in from all over the U.S. So it was, you see people online and you meet people and then you get to meet them in person. So yeah, graduation's fun. Yeah, we really connect and try to create community with our school. And as it just makes life more enjoyable when you're connecting with people.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Nicole, thank you so much. This was great. And my friends in the audience, please stop by csceducation.com and learn more about the programs. There's so many to choose from, and what a great opportunity. We really appreciate your time, and I'm sure as you continue to grow, we'll stay in touch, and we'd love to have you back because there is,
I love it.
yeah, as Emily was saying, and when she's out and about in the community, a lot of times people ask, right? And so,
Yeah.
and we always, there's definitely a need in the industry as it is growing, and it's an exciting opportunity to get in if you're thinking about taking that next step in the cannabis industry. Plus, I would imagine, I have no doubt that if you take a program at the Cleveland School, that your resume is gonna pop out ahead because of that experience that you have. So amazing.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, we have so many employers come and say it's so nice to have the students from CSC or graduates because they come in, they're so passionate, they want to learn as much as they can, and they already have this background knowledge. And oftentimes they're teaching them, like, oh, did you learn about this cannabinoid? Do you know about these terpenes? Oh, you should blend this, or just this, it's
Amazing.
been really awesome that we're helping push the dial on the industry to become better. So yeah, really proud of us.
Amazing. Yeah, I love that. You're really sending some very educated folks out into the world to be able to, continue to, continue to spread the good word with cannabis and their knowledge and continue to, bring it up a notch so that, there's still so much to be learned about, the plant and what it can do. And so it seems like these folks are really assisting with that. Huge.
Yes, I mean they're
Love that.
amazing students, so much energy and passion, and just wanting to make a difference and educate. We know education is everything to this industry. So
it sounds it. Yeah, you're so right.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, thank you, and have an amazing graduation. That's so exciting. I love that you guys do that because I know a lot of programs do not do that.
Yeah, we have one of our students speaks, so we all vote on who that is. Then we bring in a guest speaker, and then they process in, and it's the whole pomps and circumstances. So
I love it. Well,
amazing.
They work hard to get there. So amazing.
They have really and sacrificed a lot. A lot of them are working full time and they're going to school and raising families, and so it's a lot to juggle. It really is. And
it sounds like you make it very special.
So we try. We definitely try.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I love it.
Awesome. Well, thanks again, Nicole, so much. Thanks, Emily, for your time today. My friends, if you're catching the replay, be sure to drop in a comment or a question, and we will absolutely get back to you. We will see you next Thursday, regular time at 10 a.m. And have a great week and a great day, everybody. And, the Kentucky Derby, I'll be there on Saturday with my little hat, and I'll be thinking of all of you. Have a great day, friends.
Thank you.